neuron. Yes, it's neuron. Can anyone tell me what are the parts of neuron?
Accent, not cell
Axon,
body,
dendrite,
Cell body, axon, then
dendrites,
dendrites,
dendrites, then
nucleus,
nucleus. Okay, so has different parts. Dendrites, they are called the receivers, which takes the signal from the axons of other neuron. Then there is a cell body where the normal intracellular component as well as extracellular components are present, which includes the nucleus along with mitochondria, Golgi body, RNA, DNA, all those stuff which is present in the normal cell. After that, that information is taken to another neuron through axon. Axon and the dendrites of the other neuron is separated by a gap that is called synaptic gap. The information or the information from one neuron to the other neuron is carried by means of the neurotransmitter. It is nothing but it is a kind of chemical, and that chemical is also known as synovial fluid. Then after, we have also seen the in detail classification in which we have seen that peripheral nervous system is divided in the somatic and the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system is again divided in the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. After that, we were discussing about the different parts of the brain, the cerebellum. These two are the two major components. Other than that, there is a stem, there is a medulla oblongata, there is a bone. Clear? And from there, from the brain stem, it is connected to the spinal cord, which is the extension of the brain. Spinal cord is responsible for generating the normal reflex action. Can anyone tell me the example of reflex? What are the types, or what is reflex? Yes.
like perspiration,
Pardon. Repeat your answer.
perspiration,
Yes. Reflex means, yeah, the way it is the natural phenomena. So like blinking of your eye, that is called a reflex. The blinking of your eye, that is called reflex. It is one of the examples. So these reflexes are generally taken care of by the spinal cord. After that, we were discussing about the spinal cord. The spinal cord itself, it is a 31 pairs of nerves which are there inside the spinal cord. These nerves are generally divided based on the region where they are located. I'll just show you that slide so that it becomes easier for you to recall whatever we have seen in the last class. I'll just go through all the slides so that, yeah. So this is what I was discussing, that spinal. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so in the nervous system, we have seen the nervous system as sensory and motor function, as well as it has integration function. This is the classification which we have seen. Nervous system is divided in CNS and PNS. PNS is further divided in somatic and autonomic nervous system. Autonomic is further divided in sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so that is what we have discussed. These are the examples of parasympathetic actions or the sympathetic actions. Spinal cord is the extension of the brain. This is the brain, which is divided in the left and right hemisphere. Neurons are the smallest structural unit from which the brain, spinal cord, and other nerves are made up of. These are the dendrites, nucleus. This is the cell body in axon. And this is how the impulses which are coming from here, this is the direction of carrying the impulses. Yeah, this is just for understanding. The signals are coming, then it is received by the dendrites, processed, and then it is taken care of by the axons. Sometimes it is a unmyelinated axons, or sometimes it is covered by the myelin sheath. All these things are there in the second portion. So તમને આ બધું discuss કરાયું હશે અથવા કરાવશે. We also seen that there are different types of the neuron. This is motor neurons, or there might be sensory neuron, or there might be relay neuron. These are the terms which we also discussed. What is stimulus? What is excitability? All or none low. Reflex, as I have given the example, blinking your eye or pulling your hand away when you touch to any hot object, that is called reflex. This is we have seen. This is the largest portion called cerebrum, and this is the smaller one called cerebellum. This is brain stem, which is connected to the spinal cord. Here it is a medulla oblongata, bones, and these are the parts of hypothalamus, thalamus, and the pineal gland. They are the organs associated with these endocrine system. This is also we have seen the function of each and every individual part. Cerebrum is again has three parts: cerebral cortex, medullary body, and the basal ganglia. We have seen that each part is responsible for one specific function. So here you can see this is the speech center. This is auditory cortex, which is also related to the right ear. This is the visual cortex, which is responsible for the vision. This is the general interpretive center, which is responsible for the language and the mathematical calculation. Spatial calculation or spatial visualization and analysis is performed by this particular part. This part is responsible for touch synthesis. So each part of your cerebrum is responsible for one particular sensory function. So functions like thought, languages, senses, and memory, and with the voluntary movement is performed by that particular part. Now, if you look at the structure, it is again made up of different lobes that also we have discussed in detail. Cerebrum, which is called smaller brain, it is at the base of the brain, which is responsible for muscle coordination, balance, and posture. We are looking at this. This is called spinal nerves. There are 31 nerves. In addition to that, you will also have a cranial nerve. Cranial is the part which generally protects your brain. એને કહેવાય cranium. The bone, the skull અથવા cranium. It is the part which protects your brain. And from there, the word came as a cranial nerve, which are the upper nerves which connects the brain and the spinal cord. એવી બાર pair હોય, બરાબર? They are attached to under surface of the brain. તરત જ brain ની સાથે attach થયેલી હોય. And spinal nerves are 31 pairs. They are divided based on the region. This region is called cervical region. So you have C1 to C8, 8. Then this is the region is called thoracic region. So it is T1 to T12, so 12. Then you have 5 lumbar nerves, and then you have 5 sacral nerves, and the last one, which is not listed here, it is called coccygeal nerve. So 1. So 5, 5, 12, 8, and 1. So total 31 pairs of spinal nerves are present. We also seen that there are certain abnormalities related to the nervous system: confusion, cerebral palsy. We have seen paralysis. We have seen Parkinson disease. We were discussing about Alzheimer, epilepsy, and epileptic seizures. Epilepsy, or it is આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં ને વાઈ કહેવાય. આને કહેવાય ધ્રુજારી. અમુક જે ડિઝીઝ છે ને ગુજરાતી નામ જે ખ્યાલ છે, I just mentioned that. Okay, so that was all about the nervous system. Now we will start with the second topic, or the second most important part of this discussion, and that is about the EEG machine. So EEG stands for the electroencephalograph. Electroencephalograph. Clear? let's take a historical view about this machine. So EEG, or the electroencephalogram, it was first measured in humans by a scientist called Hans Berger somewhere in the year of 1929. So we are talking about 90 years back. Berger was the first to record the electrical activity of human brain. Human brain is one of the most complex part yet to understand. Yet there are so many things which are hidden. Still, they are trying to explore the capacity or the capability of the brain by any instrument which is possible. Yes, but still, this is one of the attempt which he has tried in the year of 1929, so 90 years back. In this case, electrical impulses which are generated by the nerve firings in the brain, they can be measured by putting the electrode directly on the scalp. Scalp એટલે આ જે ઉપરનું સરફેસ છે ને, માથા ઉપરનું સરફેસ, વાળ જ્યાં અટેચ કરેલા છે, બરાબર, એને કહેવાય સ્કાલ્પ. એટલે the superficial skin over your head is called scalp. So what he did is he put several electrodes over the scalp in order to find the electrical impulses which are generated due to the neural activity. What EEG proposes? Generally, EEG gives a coarse view of neural activity and has been used to non-invasively study the physiology of the brain. Coarse view means, coarse view no matlab શું થાય? Anyone? COARSE. What does this mean? What does it mean? Yes, anyone?
So is it magnified?
It is not a magnified thing, but you can say it is a superficial thing.
Okay, sir.
Superficial means આપણે એને ઉપર છલો idea આપે. It will give just the idea about how there are two things, coarse and fine. Whenever you talk about fine view, it means you are talking about the magnification of the activity. But here we are talking about coarse view. Coarse view means it will just give you the overall idea about how the things are going inside your brain. Of the neural activity has been used non-invasively. Yes, anyone? What does this particular word mean? Non-invasively. આ word સાંભળ્યો છે કે is it for the first time? Anyone? Have you heard about this word? Again, let's start with that. જેટલાએ સાંભળ્યો,
No.
just raise your hand. If it is for the first time, don't raise your hand. Else, તમે જો શબ્દ ક્યારે સાંભળ્યો હોય આપણા ડિસ્કશનમાં, સાંભળ્યો means during the classroom, આપણે જે 22/6 થી લેક્ચર ચાલુ કર્યા ત્યારથી આજ દિવસ સુધીમાં, then just raise your hand. Oh, no one. આપણે already વાત કરી. Invade. This word came from invade. Invade નો મતલબ થાય વિંધવું. ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ ને તો વિંધવું. ઇન્વેસિવ, ઇન્વેડ માંથી ઇન્વેસિવ આવે. ઇન્વેસિવ નો મતલબ થાય કે થોડી શસ્ત્રક્રિયા કરીને, કાપકૂપ કરીને, you need to cut something and if you want to find what is going on inside. Suppose you have your mobile with you and if you want to diagnose, so suddenly if your machine or if your mobile stops, first thing is you want to know that what's the issue. What will you do is, first thing is you need to run some diagnostic steps. If it is possible to perform those diagnostic steps without opening your mobile, then it will be good. Mobile ખોલ્યા વગર ધારો કે ખબર પડી જાય શું problem છે, then good. પણ એવું થાય કે મોબાઈલ ખોલવો જ પડે, then it is સમટાઈમ વોરંટી મે void, તમે જાતે ટ્રાય કરો, then વોરંટી મે void. અને whenever you open that machine at that time, ultimately you are taking a risk. So likewise, what if there is any issue inside your body, and every time if you want to diagnose that, and if you want to, or if you have to open it, then it is not a good solution. Instead of that, if it is possible to find that trouble without opening or without cutting or without performing any surgery, then it will be a good alternative. So that is what non-invasive means. Clear? So without cutting, without opening, or without giving any pain to the patient, you are able to see how this particular part works. Physiology means you want to see the functional aspect. So the entire statement means the EEG gives a superficial view about the neural activity, and it can be used non-invasively without opening or without cutting any part of the body or without opening the brain, to study the functional aspect of the brain. So that is what the entire statement means. Hans Berger has first recorded the epileptic seizures. So, epileptic seizures means it is a misfiring of neuron. Misfiring of neuron. This is also the type of ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ તો Y નો જ એક પ્રકાર છે. એપિલેપ્ટિક સાઇઝર નો Y નો જ એક પ્રકાર છે. અચાનક ખેંચ આવે, અને બીજું ગુજરાતીમાં કદાચ તમે આ પણ વર્ડ સાંભળ્યો છે, ખેંચ. ખેંચ આવી, Y આવી, આ બધું આની અંદર આવે છે. So if you તો કદાચ તમારા કોઈ આજુબાજુમાં હોય, તમે કોઈ જાણતા હોય, then you must be knowing or the first step to diagnose any brain related or abnormalities to perform the EEG. પહેલા એનો EEG કઢાવશે ડોક્ટર. એમાં જો એ પકડી જશે, એમાં ઘણા બધા there are various waves which are produced by the brain, and based on that it is possible to diagnose that. So what he did is, EEG activity is quite small signal. If you compare it with the ECG, if you compare it with the ECG signal is in the range of millivolt. But EEG activity is quite small signal. It can be measured, or it is measured in terms of microvolt. Yes, μV. With a mean frequency of interest up to 30 Hz. See, this is the second difference. If you want to differentiate ECG and EEG, ECG signal is in terms of millivolt, while EEG is in terms of microvolt. Here EEG signal lies below 30 Hz. And what is the range of ECG signal? Frequency range of ECG? Yes. What is the frequency range of ECG? कौन कहेशे? Raise your hand. Sarjak, what is the frequency range of ECG?
Sir, 20 hertz.
20 Hz. Yes, Abhishek.
0 to 20 hertz.
0 to 20 Hz. Okay. Pawan.
0 to 20 hertz.
0 to 20 Hz. Abhishek Mishra. કોઈ બીજાને ખબર નથી? Frequency range of ECG is 0.05 Hz to 150 Hz, or somewhere around 100 Hz. Sometime 150 or up to 100 Hz. So you are talking about this much range, while EEG frequency ranges below 30 Hz. આ બે ડિફરન્સ છે. અને ત્રીજો ડિફરન્સ છે, ECG is used for heart related to know the functionality of heart, while EEG is used to check the function of brain. This is the picture. Hans Berger, a German psychiatrist. The word It's important because this thing goes to the psychiatrist. He discovered in 1929 EEG, and this is the waveform in coordination to ECG. Here it is ECG, and these are the signal which he has recorded in addition to the ECG. This is the machine. This is how the machine looks like. Unlike ECG, EEG signals are random. ECG માં કેવું આવે P, QRS and T, but here these signals are random. You cannot say there is no definite shape of EEG signal. While in case of ECG, you have a definite shape. This is the another difference. Now, if you see this, ચલો હવે આ આન્સર તો દરેકને આવડવો જોઈએ. કેટલાને આવડતો હોય જસ્ટ હાથ ઉપર કરજો. Suppose if I do this, આવું હું બતાવું what I want to say. આવું મેં કર્યું હોય, if I draw this figure, what ultimately I want to say. How many of you can answer this question? Just raise your hand. If I'll draw something like this, what ultimately I want to convey? આ તો દરેકને આવડવું જોઈએ. Only one. Two. Three. Four. Rupali, two bol. What does this mean?
Lead 1 bipolar lamp limb.
Yes. Clear? It means that, okay, let's hear from someone else too. Abhishek Mishra, tu pan bol. What you want to say? What is your opinion? I cannot hear what he wants to say. So, okay. It means that I want to say that something like lead. I want to say lead. What does lead mean? Lead means I need to place the electrode over the patient body in order to get the ECG signal. બરાબર? આપણે ECG જોઈતા હોય તો આપણે પેશન્ટના બોડી ઉપર ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ મૂકવા પડે. આ શું કહે છે કે ભાઈ રાઈટ આર્મ ઉપર મૂકો, લેફ્ટ આર્મ ઉપર મૂકો અને એક રાઈટ લેગ ઉપર મૂકો. આ ત્રણ ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ મૂકશો એટલે તમને કંઈક આવું સિગ્નલ મળશે. બરાબર? આવું એક આપણે કીધું. But that is in case of ECG. Now in case of brain, where you have to put the electrodes? ક્યાં મૂકવાના? So in this case, you can put the electrode directly over the scalp. Direct તમે scalp ઉપર મૂકી શકો. You can directly put the electrodes over the patient's head. Simply we can say it's head. Again, you cannot put the electrodes randomly. તમને આપણે વાત કરી ECG માં જ્યારે whenever we are putting the electrode over the patient chest, જ્યારે patient ની chest ઉપર મૂકતા હોય, at that time there are definite position V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, definite positions. You cannot put anywhere. So likewise, whenever you are putting the electrode over the patient head, at that time the electrodes are placed at some definite spot or some definite position. ગમે તે જગ્યાએ નથી મૂકવાનું. There is a position which is already defined. Now in order to understand that position, first you need to see what are the different sites where you can put the electrode. So for that you have to see this, the brain or the cerebrum, that is the largest part of the brain, is formed of two cerebral hemisphere, right hemisphere and left hemisphere. એટલે જમણું દિમાગ અને ડાબુ દિમાગ. મોટું જે મગજ છે, જમણું મોટું મગજ અને ડાબુ મોટું મગજ એમ કહી શકાય. So each cerebral hemisphere is formed of four lobe. આપણે જે nervous system માં પણ જોયું. The first part is called frontal lobe. Frontal lobe contains the motor area. Motor area means actuators. The actuators which are taking the actions that are being controlled by the frontal lobe. Second lobe is called parietal lobe. It contains the sensory area. So whatever informations are coming from different sensors that are being processed in this particular region. Third part is called temporal lobe. It contains the area of hearing and memory. શ્રવણ ક્ષમતા તમારી છે સાંભળવાની ક્ષમતા and memory. These two are being taken care of by this particular part. And fourth part is called occipital lobe, which contains the area of vision. So if you look at this particular figure, here you will find this is called frontal lobe. આ જે આટલો part છે ને, left and right frontal lobe. પાછળનો ભાગ છે, this part is called occipital lobe, which is responsible for vision. Frontal lobe, which is responsible for motor function. Here you have parietal lobe. Let this somewhere over here. This one. And here, this is called the temporal lobe. Here. Simply આપણે એને સમજવા માટે યાદ રાખવું હોય, front નો meaning જ થાય કે આગળના ભાગે. This is towards your eye. આ બાજુ આંખ છે. This is front part of your body and this is the back side. So the part which is there on the front side, here also it is shown. This is the front part. That's why it is called frontal lobe. જે સાઈડમાં આવી રીતે આવે છે, સાઈડમાં. These two are on the sides towards your right ear and left ear. These are called the temporal lobes. Temporal lobe થી પાછળની સાઈડમાં, behind the temporal lobe. Here you have the parietal lobe. And the last back side માં જે છેલ્લો part છે, that part is called occipital lobe. બરાબર? આ temporal lobe છે, it is not visible from, this is a top view. આ top view છે અને આ bottom view છે. Underside view. Here you can see. Underside means you are looking from the leg to the brain. Barabar? And here, and in this case, you are looking from the top side. Here you are looking from the bottom side. So temporal lobe is not visible from the top side. That's why it is shown in the bottom view. So frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. આ ચાર લોબ યાદ રાખવાના છે, because these lobes are important to identify the position of putting the electrodes over the patient's head. આના ઉપરથી તમારે નક્કી કરવાનું કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોડના પેશન્ટના હેડ ઉપર ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ કઈ કઈ જગ્યાએ મૂકવાના. EEG system cover all parts of the brain by placing electrode on all part of the head. This is very very important. Generally જેટલા ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ મૂકો ને એટલા ઓછા છે, જેટલા ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ મૂકો, because you want to get the most of all the information from the brain, and that's why you need to put more number of electrodes. But they find two electrode placement system. One is called 1020. આનું નામ જ એવું છે 1020. Like IPL we have 2020, but here it is 1020. So 1020 international system, it includes 21 electrodes. 21 electrodes તમારે brain ઉપર રાખવાના, 21 electrodes. And second is called 1010, not 2020, not 1020, but it is 1010. 1010 international system, which includes 64 electrodes. આપણે ECG માં વાત કરી, maximum electrodes હતા 10. કોઈ પણ lead નું તમારે measurement કરવું હોય, maximum you need 10 electrodes. But in 1020 system you need 21 electrodes. And in 1010 international system, you need 64 electrodes. So number of electrodes are more in 1010 international system. But this is 1020 is the most widely used electrode placement system. So let's discuss about this. Now this is called 1020 international electrode placement system. 1020. It means you need total 21 electrodes. હવે આપણે જેમ વાત કરીએ, મેં તમને ECG નું એક્ઝામ્પલ એટલે જ આપ્યું કે ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ ક્યાં મૂકવાના, where you need to put the electrodes. So for that you have to identify the position. So here you can see some of the electrodes are colored red some of them are colored blue, some of them are colored black, and one of them is colored green. બરોબર, ચાર કલર થી બતાવ્યું છે. So what this indicates? The red color indicates the electrodes which are placed on the left side. Here it is nose. A nose che. This is nose. It means this is your front side, and this is the back side. These are the ears. These two are the ears. Samajho, this is very important question as far as your exams are concerned. In this case, here you can see the electrodes which are placed on the left side. Jetla electrode left side ma che, all those electrodes are colored red, and see their number 1 7 3 3 3 1 5 3 1. What does it mean?
Odd one.
Yes, these numbers are odd numbers. Yes, these are odd numbers. See on the other side, 2 4 6 8 4 5 4 6 2 2. It means the electrodes which are on this side, they are right side. These electrodes are even number electrode. એટલે તમારે જ્યારે આ બનાવવાનું આવે somehow તો written exam આવશે તો first thing is you need to plot this. So how you will differentiate things which are on left side, they are odd numbered, and things which are on right side, they are even numbered. These are the first things which you need to remember. I'll just erase that. Okay, so on this side it is odd, on this side it is even. Now the numbers which are given to the electrodes are based on their region. જે region માં હોય ને એ પ્રમાણેના number આપ્યો છે. Let's start from this. Now here the lobe which is there on the front side, it is called frontal lobe. પણ એમાં પણ અહીંયા there is one variety. This one, as if it is located on the left side, FP1, here it is written, FP1 is called left frontal pole, as if it is on the front side. આગળની સાઈડમાં છે, that's why it is front. It is odd number because it is on the left side, and P stands for pole. So if I divide the region like this, these are called left frontal pole, and this one is called right frontal pole. If I divide the region again like this, then F3 is called left frontal, and left frontal, this F3. F4 is called right frontal, this one. Now F7, if I draw this is another region. I'll just draw that region like this. F7 is partly the part of frontal, but it is located on the temporal side as well. Temporal એટલે side નો ભાગ, આ ભાગ અને આ ભાગ, આ બંને ભાગને કહેવાય temporal. This part and this part. So F7 is the frontal as well as it is located on the temporal, એટલે side ના ભાગમાં છે. That's why it is called left frontotemporal. F8, it is right frontotemporal. Now FZ. FZ is again a frontal, but જેમ આપણે જોયું એમ કે cerebrum is divided in left hemisphere and right hemisphere. તો એ બંને એક midline, that is called the body midline or the brain midline, એનાથી divide થાય છે. So FZ is placed on the midline, that's why it is called mid frontal. This is called mid frontal. Frontal, but it is located on the midline, that's why it is called mid frontal. After that, જેમ આ રીતે ડિવાઇડ કર્યું brain ને, likewise it is divided on with a horizontal line also. That's why CZ, C3 and C4, આ જે ચાર છે, આ ત્રણ ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ છે, they are the part of central line or the central lobe. So it is called left central. C3 is called left central, C4 is called right central, and CZ is called midline, exact midline. આ રીતે vertically divide કરો કે horizontally divide કરો, then જે mid point આવે, that is called midline. CZ is called midline electrode placement site. આ બધું શું છે? these all are the electrode placement side. અહીંયા આ બધા પોઈન્ટ ઉપર તમારે ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ્સ કનેક્ટ કરવાના છે. then T3, this one, it is called left temporal. T4, it is called right temporal. After that, another region, it is like this, અને પછી ફરી પાછું આ રીતે ડિવાઈડ થાય. P3, PZ અને P4. P3 is called left parietal. P4 is called right parietal. And PZ again, it is parietal, but it is on the midline. Clear? That's why it is a mid parietal, or sometimes it is also called posterior. Posterior मतलब પાછળની ભાગમાં. અચ્છા. So it is behind the midline. That's why it is also called mid parietal or mid posterior. Now T5. T5 is also the part of temporal, and it is also the part of parietal or the posterior region. That's why it is called left posterior temporal. And T6 is called right posterior temporal. See, a temporal no ભાગ છે. This whole part, આ જે આખો part છે, it is a temporal part, and this part is the posterior part. So it is a part of two things. આ બંને જો આની અંદર આખો આવી ગયું, it is inside this thing. That's why it is called right posterior temporal. Now the last region is this one, આટલું. O, that is occipital lobe. છેલ્લો lobe કયો હતો? The last lobe is occipital. So O1 is the left occipital, O2 is the right occipital. And in the entire arrangement, you have a common ground which is located at this particular point G. In addition to that, there are two reference points which are given. One is called A1. A1 is reference to left ear. It is not ear, but it is ear. રેફરન્સ ટુ લેફ્ટ, એટલે ડાબી સાઈડના કોઈ પણ ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ માટે જો રેફરન્સ જોતું હોય ને, FP1 F3 બધા કોઈ પણ માટે, then you have to take it from A1. અને જમણી સાઈડના કોઈ પણ ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ માટે રેફરન્સ જોતું હોય ને, you can take from A2. So it is a reference to right ear. એટલે ear માટે છે, that's why it is A1 and A2. Clear? A stands for auditory. Auditory મતલબ સાંભળવું. એના ઉપરથી નામ આવ્યું છે A1 અને A2. Auditory electrode 1 અને auditory electrode 2. Is it clear, or do you want me to discuss it again? This is very, very important thing and little bit complex to understand. Let me show you one video which clears the doubt, which if any doubt you have in this discussion. Now the thing, 1020 international system, how they are going to identify the position? મેં કીધું કે O1 આ બાજુ, T1 આ બાજુ, T3 આ બાજુ, but how they are going to place the electrode? So this is just the example. If you go through this video, the doubt will be clear in your mind. Here you can see these are the electrode labels which are provided. Now this is one of the example how they are going to put the electrodes. They are taking the certain references, certain measurements. First, they are performing some measurement. First, they need to take a measurement of 10 inches. They just mark them. See the marking, how they are marking. %, of each means after every 2 inches they put the marks. Now this is one of the example how they are going to practice this, because for the EEG technician, they have to perform it for every patient. So how they are going to place the electrode? So they are going to take something like this, 10 inches, 10, 20 means 10 inches is the measurement, and after for every 20% variation, they are going to mark the placements of the electrodes. So here you can see these are the preoculars or the auricular. Auricular means it is also another name of ear. કાનનો બીજો નામ છે auricles. They are also called auricles. This is the midline. This is the center point of the brain. This one. It is called vertex. Now what they are going to do is they are going to use the 10 inch with a 20% measurement. This is the midpoint. You can here you can see. આવી રીતે માર્કિંગ કરશે. Ear નો જે માર્કિંગ હશે એની સાથે મેચ થવું જોઈએ. Here you can see how they are going to perform this. Nation is a word which is used for nose. Starting from nose to inion. Inion is the part of the lower ગળાનું જે પાછળનો ભાગ છે ને, it is lower cranium. The lower side of the cranium, there is a inion. This is how they are trying using it to identify the position using those two marks. Now see how they are. Then CZ is the midpoint of your horizontal and the vertical lines. So it is vertex or the CZ point, midline. Then on the auricle or towards the ear, here these are the temporal lobes, T4. This is C4. 20 જે percent ના માપ હતા ત્યાં લોકોએ ત્યાં એમણે માર્ક કરી દીધું છે. Then they are putting the electrode. This is T3 on the left side. Here it is C3. Temporal, that one is central. So एक लाइन बनी गई છે. On one side they put the frontal or the FZ, and on the back side posterior central PZ. These are the two front poles, FP1 and FP2. And this is T6. This is just for understanding that. I'll just go through them in a hurry so that you can see what. Yeah. This is how they have to practice. The EEG technician have to practice this, and after that they have to identify the individual position. So this is the same thing. Here you can see 10%, 20, 20, 20, 20, 10. That's why the name is 10, 20. Because for some marking they are using 10% of measurement, and for some marking they are using 20%. That's why the name is 10, 20 placement. This is the horizontal line. This is 10%, again 20, 20, 20, 20. And last it is at 10%. Then they are making a circle, 10%. Again they are taking a line like this. This is for again defining the position. Then they are dividing like this, and then they are also identifying the position of other things. Yes, the same thing which we are discussing, front pole. These are the part of frontal, frontotemporal. This is temporal, posterior, or the posterior temporal. These are the parietals. These are the occipitals. These are the centrals. Clear? Now is it clear? I just want everyone should raise their hand. You can see them so that I can assure myself that everyone is understand this 10-20 electrode placement system. જેટલાને ખબર પડી, just raise your hand. If you have any query, you can ask right now so that I can solve that. Okay. More than, I think 60% people have raised their hand. I don't know about others. Okay. Now this is called 10-10 International System of Electrode Placement. Now what is the difference? જોઈને શું લાગે છે? Anyone wants to say anything?
પણ 20% હજુ એમાં બધાએ 10% ઇલેક્ટ્રોડ મૂકવા પડશે.
Yes, 10-10. બધા 10%. It means the number of electrodes in this case are more. So here you can see, in this case you have total 64 electrodes. So if you look at this, you have somewhere you have F3, then you have F7, C3. આપણી પાસે C3 છે. It is a zero line. Z means zero line or the mid line. Then you have 4 here, you have 8 here. Then what about 1, 2, 3? What about 2? What about 6? Here from FZ to directly 3. Why? Where is F1? Where is F5? The question arises. આવું થાય ને કે ભાઈ આના પછી direct 3, 3 પછી direct 7. So where is F5? Where is F1? So the answer is F1 is over here. F5 is over here. And F9, which is also there, it is over here. So number of electrodes which are missing in this, they all are present over here. So the N2 is a nose or the nasal electrode, which is there on the central line. Electrodes, you can see the number of electrodes are more. So F1, F3, F7, these all are the frontal. FZ from so that F2, F4, F6, F8, and F10. Clear? So here you can see the number of electrodes are increasing. Likewise here also, between this frontocentral FCZ, FC1, FC3, FC5, then here it is a part of frontotemporal. This is also the part of frontotemporal. This is the part of temporal. Clear? Temporal parietal, tempo posterior. Yes. So likewise, you can see the number of electrodes are increasing. These are the part of parietal. Parieto-occipital. These are another category which was not present here. But they are also present here. And this is the last one. એમાં માર્કિંગ બતાવ્યું ઇનિયન, મેઝન અને ઇનિયન, એની વચ્ચે જ આ બધા electrodes are placed. So these are the electrodes which are there in the 10-10 international. But this is not popular because it includes more number of electrodes. The same thing is possible with the help of lesser number of electrodes. That's why they are generally prefer this 10-20. 10-20, 20%. That's why number of electrodes are less, and that is the advantage. If you look at the EEG signal, EEG signal is generally smaller in amplitude. So as we have seen, it is in terms of several hundreds of microvolt, or sometimes it is very, very less, say in terms of 2 microvolt also. If you look at the frequency bands in EEG, it is again divided into 5 different categories. The signals which are less than 4 hertz, આપણે વાત કરી signals are up to 30 hertz, આટલી જ રેન્જ હોય. પણ એની અંદર 30 hertz થી નીચેના છે ને એના અલગ અલગ 5 types છે, that we'll see. The first type is called delta band or the delta waves, which are having a frequency range of lesser than 4 hertz. These signals are generally observable in the deep sleep stages of normal adult. What is deep sleep?
गहरी नींद में
गहरी नींद, जो आजकल किसी को आती नहीं. Clear? This is the normal thing. The normal duration of the deep sleep is, it has to be greater than 2 hours. દરેક વ્યક્તિને એટલીસ્ટ 2 કલાક તો ડીપ સ્લીપ સ્ટેજમાં હોય. ડીપ સ્લીપ ઇઝ ધ સ્ટેજ ઇન વિચ તમને કદાચ ડ્રીમ્સ આવે ને, then also you cannot recall them. જનરલી ઘણા એમ કે સવારે ઉઠીને કે મને આજે સપનું આવ્યું હતું, મને યાદ છે. જે ન કહી શકતા હોય, they are in excellent stage of their sleep. You cannot remember their dreams, but sometimes they can remember the dreams, and it is the condition in the normal sleep. The normal sleep હોય ને એની અંદર તમને dreams યાદ રહે. But deep sleep is a stage in which એકદમ રિલેક્સ હોય, બોડી રિલેક્સ, માઇન્ડ રિલેક્સ. જેટલું ડીપ સ્લીપ સ્ટેજ વધારે, એટલે આમ તો 2 થી 3 કલાક હોય એટલે ઇનફ છે. એનાથી વધારે હોવું એ પણ ખરાબ વસ્તુ છે. 2 to 3 hours is okay. એનાથી વધારે હોય then also it's not good, but it has to be in this particular range. So less than 4 hertz એ ક્યારે જનરેટ થાય? whenever the person is in the deep sleep stage. Second wave is called theta wave, are less than 4 છે. Theta wave is between the 4 to 8 hertz. It is observable in normal infants and children, as well as during the drowsiness and sleep in adult. Generally infants and children. Infants मतलब નાનું एकदम બાળક હોય, in terms of month જ્યારે આપણે વાત, yes, ન્યૂબોર્ન. હા, એટલે in terms of month માં જે એજ હોય, જેને days અને month માં જે એજ હોય ને બાળકની, એની વાત છે. children માં પણ it is observable, and adult માં પણ જ્યારે normal sleep અથવા drowsiness, આળસ આવતી હોય ત્યારે these waves are present. Alpha waves are the range of 8 to 14 hertz, and they are mostly below 50 microvolt. It is observable in adults during relaxed and mentally inactive awakeness. See, this is the thing. You are awake, જાગી તો ગયા છો. આ બધા sleep related આવનારા પેલા signals છે. 8 to 14, it is during the awake condition, but mentally you are inactive. Like few people are there during the classroom. Clear? They are very relaxed and mentally passive. Clear? So જાગતા તો હોય પણ mentally એકદમ સૂતા હોય. So that is mentally inactive awakeness. Next is a beta wave. It is 14 to 30 hertz. It is mostly below 30 microvolt, and it is enhanced by expectancy states and tension. જ્યારે ટેન્શનમાં આવો, જ્યારે સ્ટ્રેસ અનુભવો, during that condition it generates the beta waves, which is in the range of 14 to 30 hertz. And the last wave, which is above 30 hertz, it is not of clinical or physiological interest. આપણે મોનિટર કરીએ તો પણ આનો કોઈ એડવાન્ટેજ નથી, and therefore often filtered out in EEG. Gamma waves are not useful in EEG recording. આ 4 વેવ જ યુઝ થાય: less than 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 14, 14 to 30, and greater than 30. So somehow if you get the EEG, ધારો કે કોઈ પેશન્ટનું EEG લીધું, it is like this. And if you convert this time domain signal into frequency domain, આવી રીતે like this. Clear? Then you can see that, see, this is આ જે time spectrum છે, this is the frequency spectrum. And here you can see this is less than 4 hertz. These are the theta waves which are coming from here. It is 4 to 8, so it is over here. some components are of alpha wave, high frequency signal. जो यहाँ high frequency છે, આ એકદમ low frequency છે. These waves has a frequency which is higher than this but lower than this. So they are the theta waves. This has the highest frequency amongst all. So it is the alpha wave, which is in the range of 8 to 12 or 8 to 14. Okay, so here you can see delta, theta, and alpha. So if you convert your time domain signal into frequency domain, you can easily observe કે કયું component એમાં present છે. And then by applying some algorithm, filtering algorithm, you can make the waveform smooth. A smoothness you have provided. અહીંયા આ રીતે છે, but by providing some filtering to them, you can ultimately provide the smoothness to your output. Yeah, here this is the same example. It's called power spectrum, where on the y-axis this is the magnitude, and on the x-axis this is the frequency. This is your time domain signal. You are converting into frequency. So this is theta, delta wave, theta wave. You have alpha wave. You have beta wave, and you have gamma wave. See on this side, the frequency, in this frequency the amplitude is more, and here it is less. So you can see this, the alpha waves are more, delta waves are also there, some quantity of theta and beta waves, and while rest of them are gamma waves. Yeah, so this is one of the way by which they are converting their time domain signal into frequency domain. Clear? So I think today we are ending our discussion with this.